Hello everyone, Angel here, and I'm pleased to announce that the long-awaited version 1.2 patch for TFTC has finally been released. This patch is a huge update which sees a lot of it focus on changes to the classic campaign. There are some 20 plus pages of patch notes for which you can find a link for in the video description below, but let's take a quick look at the highlights of what 1.2 has to offer. First off, we've made a number of significant gameplay mechanic changes to the classic campaign, which all serve to bring it as close as possible to emulating the original TIE fighter behaviour. This includes disabling Starship engine wash damage, doubling the energy transferred from lasers to shields, bomber and torpedo behaviour now matches the original, so there's far less torpedo spam. You will no longer spin uncontrollably when hit by missiles. The 1/3 throttle mechanic to turn faster has now been removed, so you can turn at the maximum rate regardless of your speed. We've also added in a handful of recognisable sound effects from the original TIE fighter, particularly shield impacts and targeting sounds. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. As a result of all these changes, our team have gone through each classic mission and tweaked and balanced them accordingly with the new changes. Overall, it should play very differently now and be a bit more forgiving. But don't worry, the reimagined campaign has been getting a bit of love too. There are a number of balance fixes and tweaks to most of the missions, with some more than others, so it should be in a much better place overall in terms of balance and quality. Other changes include a number of visual updates, particularly all the wraparound nebula skyboxes have been redone, toned down, and the lighting adjusted in many missions. We're also taking advantage of the updated explosions and debris added in the latest XWAU update patch, as well as animated blast marks for hull damage on ships. There's even been some improvement to VR performance, particularly jittery cockpit behaviour when in flight. And that should cover much of the basics of what version 1.2 has done for you. So head on over to our ModDB page and download now. Speaking of which though, ModDB are currently doing their 2021 Mod of the Year voting awards, so you should really go and vote for TFTC while you can. And now to installation. I have posted a new installation tutorial video which covers some of the changes to the install process depending on what you have installed or not, but I'll quickly go over the installation process here now. Version 1.2 can be installed as either a patch to your existing TFTC installation, or can be used as part of a clean installation and also includes the XWAU Update 5 patch bundled into it. If you are using the installer to patch either version 1 or 1.1 of TFTC, you must first use the Palpatine Total Converter to restore the light side, which switches it back to XWAU. It is critical that you do this, otherwise the installation process will fail with an error. Once this is done though, you can run the installer, and upon being asked which version of XWA you have installed, select TFTC version 1.0 or 1.1 and proceed to install. Once the installation is complete, you can switch back to TFTC Classic or Reimagined using the Total Converter again. Don't forget also to back up your pilot files just in case something goes wrong before installing. Your pilot files can be found in the root folder of your installation with the extension .plt. If you are installing TFTC from scratch, then all you need to do is install a clean copy of X-Wing Alliance, install the XWAU Mega Patch, and then you can go straight to installing TFTC version 1.2 by simply selecting XWA with XWAU Clean during the install option. Remember, XWAU Update 5 is bundled with this installation, so you don't need to download and run it separately. Great! So with the installation out of the way, let's talk about the future of TFTC. Version 1.2 will likely be the last major patch for the next few months, barring any major issues of course. My focus now will be on completing the reimagined campaign battles 9 to 13. Significant progress has been made, but there is still so much more to do and it takes a lot of time to design and make these missions. Whereas version 1.2 is the big classic update, 1.3 will be the big reimagined update that includes the rest of the campaign and any further changes to the existing campaign, and will then hopefully see the TFTC project completed as a whole. Version 1.3 should also see the release of the new intro by Ota King as well. There has also been a potential breakthrough recently of a significant performance increase. As you may know, the biggest limitation with the engine currently is that most of the hard work is done by the CPU and not your graphics card. This is because the engine is 20 plus years old and wasn't written with modern graphics cards in mind. However, the XWAU team has been experimenting with a hook that finally shunts some of the work of the CPU to the GPU. This in itself could lead to allowing even bigger battles, higher detailed models with a smoother frame rate if it all works out. This has huge potential benefits for the TFTC Reimagine campaign in particular because of the larger battles. So stay tuned to our Discord or Twitter or this channel for future information. One last thing, I may occasionally start posting some non-TFTC videos again to the channel. So don't be alarmed if you think I'm not working on TFTC anymore, because I am. But I am looking to diversify what I'd like to do with my channel going forward in the long term. If you have any ideas what you might like to see from me in the future, maybe a let's play or review of other games or something like that, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, until next time, good hunting, pilots.